Hi, Cecilia. Thanks for sending us in your question here. Um, so we have what's called an exponential function here. I've drawn out the simplest form of the exponential function right here, y equals a to the x. And what these graphs tend to look like is this right here. Something like this. And what we have here is an asymptote at y equals 0, because the graph here never touches the line 0 but comes really close forever. Okay, and they usually go through 1 here, as long as there's no shifts or anything going on like that. Okay, so that's the general form. This one, if you notice, see how the number here is less than 1, the 1/4. We call it the base. It's less than 1, so therefore the graph is going to be flipped over the y-axis. Okay, so that's called a y-axis reflection. Okay, so what we have, here's the graph. What I'm going to do here is, oops, that's supposed to be a straight line. And then here's x, y. So I'm going to make a little x, y chart. I'm going to plug in -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. Okay, so what we're going to do is plug in -2 first. So if we plug in -2, we'll kind of do some scratch work down here. 1/4 to the -2. Okay, that -2 actually flips the fraction, so it'll be 4, and then the exponent becomes positive. So this becomes 16 times 2, which is 32. Okay, so same thing with the -1 here, so it'll be 2, and then 1/4 to the -1. Flip the fraction, it becomes 2 times 4 to the 1, which is 8. Okay, so we put an 8 here. Okay, if you plug in 0, 1/4 to the 0 is 1. Anything to the 0 is 1. So 1 times 2 is 2. Okay, plug in a 1, well, we get 1/4 to the 1 is 1/4, times 2 is 1/2. And if you plug in 2, well, you have to square this, which means you square the top and the bottom, so you get 1/16 times 2, which is 1/8. Okay, so -2, 32, we'll just say is up here, even though our graph doesn't get to it. -1, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's like over here. And then 0, 2 is right here. 2 or 1/2 is right there. 2 and 1/8. Okay, so this graph in general looks like this here. Oops. So here. And it never touches the x-axis here. Okay, so our domain is the possible x values. It's actually going to be all real numbers. So we'll say -infinity to infinity. There's no limits on x. We can plug in any x value we want here, and we will get a y value. Okay, and now the range is different though. See how I can't, there's no y values down here. If I drew any horizontal line here, there will not be a y value that the graph goes through. It actually starts at 0, but not at 0 exactly, but just above 0, and it goes up to infinity. So we're going to use a parenthesis 0 to infinity. So the y values, or the range, can be anywhere between 0 and infinity, not including 0. That's why we have a parenthesis here. All right, thanks for your question, and we look forward to answering more of them.